You do knock on the door to be polite. You don't just walk in, that's not right. You do close the lid after you're done. You don't leave it up, that could hurt someone. You do flush and clean up before you leave. You don't make a mess for germs to breed. Boys do lift the toilet seat when you go on. You don't leave it up when you are done. Here's what you do, and you don't do. When you go to use the bathroom, here's what you do, and you don't do. When you go to use the bathroom, you do wash your hands when you're all done. You don't need a lot of towels, you just need one. Do.
Now, we all joke and stuff about Zaya's bathroom habits, and he's candid about it. It's not to him, that's just the way it is. He talks about, he's, uses the Walmart bags and stuff like that. I was a truck driver. I was over the road for years. And if you know anything about driving a big truck, you can't just pull over anywhere to go to the bathroom. So, yes, occasionally I would use a jug to pee in. Gatorade bottles were big because, they had the wide mouth. I could just stick her in there and pee. And then when I went to get fuel, I'd just throw my pee bottles in the trash, usually at the truck stop. That's where they ask you to do it anyway. I didn't keep them in my truck for long periods of time. There are truckers that do that. It's kind of gross. You get in someone's truck and there's pee bottles all over. But he also, poops in Walmart bags. Now, as a truck driver, I've never pooped in a bag. Never had to, I could always find a place. Eventually, I could pull over somewhere. I can go into a convenience store, a gas station, a truck stop, a rest area. I'd find a place to go number two. Never had a problem with that. Zaya has a van that can get in and out of places a lot easier than a big truck. So there's no reason why he would have to use Walmart bags. He uses them because he's too lazy to get up out of his van. He's parked in a Walmart parking lot. He's too lazy to get up and walk into Walmart, which is open 24 hours. He's just too lazy to find a, and they also have porta johns, although I know some truck drivers had those in their trucks. I never wanted one in my truck. It's just disgusting. I didn't want the smells. I know other people get rides in my truck, and I just didn't want to expose them to that either. And it's kind of gross, to sleep where you go to the bathroom. And so, I never did that. But I got some bean footage of him explaining how he thinks you should go to the bathroom, how he thinks it's better to go to the bathroom. And then I'll have a educational video to follow that. Habits, if he's going in Walmart bags, he doesn't wash his hands after he's done. So, there's that too, which is pretty nasty. But without further ado, let's roll this beat.
Going to a toilet and having your own toilet is not a big deal. People talk about me tearing out the toilet in Lisa Marie. Well, first of all, I hear them talking about that all the time. Number one, and I'm going to explain this here again because people talk about this a lot. Number one, before I put the jungle room in the back of the Lisa Marie, I had to sleep in the jackknife sofa up here. And when you do that and you jackknife it out, you can't walk in the aisle. Your aisle is literally eliminated in the rig. Another thing is, you can't open the refrigerator to get a cold drink. So now, not only can you not walk in the aisle, but you can't open the refrigerator, which is a huge, huge problem. Now, a lot of people take out the jackknife sofa and they put a stationary bed and problem is solved. Okay? But now, with the invention of the jungle room, I can get out of the jungle room, come up, walk through the aisle. The aisle is not, there's nothing in the aisle. I can get to the refrigerator, whatever. Now, people make a big deal about how do people urinate living the van life. That, oh my gosh, it's so unnatural for somebody to urinate in a container or to use a bucket or to go in the grass. How do you think people used the restroom when there wasn't any toilets? You think toilets existed 500 years ago, 1,000 years ago? People would go out in the grass in the fields. And one of the most comfortable ways of relieving yourself is squatting. Actually, sitting on a toilet is unnatural for a human being. It's not healthy. And the best way to relieve yourself is to go out in a field and squat. That's the way that God made us. That's how we were engineered and designed. And anybody who sits on a toilet is not doing it the right way. This whole toilet thing is man-made. It's not natural. It hasn't been around. Ever since mankind, how we were designed and engineered was go out in the field and squat. That's the best way to do it. In a lot of countries, they have bidets where you squat and some water comes out and you clean yourself, like in France. So the bottom line is, everybody talks about toilets, toilets, toilets. They make this a big deal all the time. They're talking about toilets. How to know It's not important to go to a toilet. How do animals? We're animals. That's what we are. Human beings are animals. How do animals relieve themselves? Out in the field. They don't have a toilet. We're the same thing. We're animals and stuff. We are a species on this earth, but we are mammals and stuff. Is what we are. So people always talk about this. Toilets, toilets, toilets. I don't want to use a toilet. Even if I had a sticks and bricks home. And if I had the finest porcelain toilet, I wouldn't use it. I would go out in my backyard or go out in a field and squat and relieve myself because that's the most comfortable way to relieve yourself. That's the way that God made us. That's the way that God engineered us. And that's the way that people should do it. Sticks and bricks and people who
Hello,
live
you
in
may
their
not
rigs.
know this, but every time that you go to the bathroom and do not wash your hands or follow basic hygiene, that you risk spreading E. coli bacteria as well as other germs to fellow classmates and on other public places. Not to worry though, there are certain things you can do in order to combat this threat to you and your fellow man. As you may already be aware of, bathrooms tend to be an unsanitary place because not everyone follows the standard hygiene procedures, such as washing your hands after you have exited the restroom stalls. Washing your hands is good for you because it prevents the spread of germs, as well as ones from entering your body. Those that do not wash their hands risk getting the common cold along with other potential harmful diseases. Bathrooms mostly for men have two choices when using restrooms, while women have one, either a urinal or a standard bathroom toilet. If you're using a urinal located at the top part of the monitor sensor, press the small button that is centered on the left side in order to allow water to flush the urinal, remove bodily waste. The handle is usually located behind you after you situate yourself on the toilet. Reach for the handle and pull down. It usually should allow it to flush. This is only made easier if your toilet seat has an automatic flush system, though some gas stations and other public areas still do not have these luxuries, so just use what is available to you at the time depending on your situation. Always use toilet paper rack located on the right or left of the stall next to you, and pull down on the roll in order to tear out a piece of toilet paper. You may need to do this several times before you finish. By not washing your hands, you run the risk of contracting these diseases from contaminating surfaces, such as meningitis, bronchitis, influenza, hepatitis A, and some types of diarrhea. Make sure that you remember to turn off the sink after you've washed your hands. Most bathrooms have standard paper towel racks that you can use in order to dry your hands. If there is no paper towel coming out of the dispenser, first pull down the lever below it in order to have the paper towel come out of the machine. If it is still not coming out, make sure that it is not an automatic paper towel dispenser, in which case you may have to wave your hand in front of the motion sensor. It is always a nice gesture to pull down another roll of toilet paper for the person that is going to use the restroom after you. In some situations, you may be a more modern public setting where they have automatic hand dryers, and they come in various designs and sizes, but they all work the same way. Simply place your hands into the machine after you have washed your hands, of course, and move your hands up and down in order for the dryer to push air up towards your hands in order to dry them. Remove them from the machine and it should usually turn off. Now you know these how-to steps in order to use these simple methods in order to keep the spread of germs and other diseases from public places.
So now we know the right way and the wrong way to use the bathroom. This is what separates us from the skunk apes. Another thing, which is very important for people to know, Zaya, he likes to boondock in people's neighborhoods. Do you want this man in your neighborhood? Do you want to walk out to get the morning newspaper and step in something? I know I don't. So if you know he's coming to your town, they usually announce where he's going next. Put up flyers in the neighborhood. Watch out for this van. Call the police if you see this van in the neighborhood. There's pictures of his van out there. You know, we know what his license plate is. Elvis with several S's, Arkansas plates. You don't want him in your neighborhood. You know, not only is he jacking it twice a day, and probably more than that, he's also pooping around your yard or somebody else's yard, your neighbor's yard, the park in your neighborhood. You know, if he's out of Walmart bags, he just dumps and grunts That's what he does. He's openly admitted to it. Use a toilet. It's sanitary. Yeah, some people could argue that squatting is better for you, but I've sat on a toilet all my life and I don't have any health problems because of it. So, your body just grows to adapt to that, the way that you use the toilet. That's how we live these days. That's how we eliminate diseases in society. The porcelain's easy to clean, and we flush our diseases and problems away to a sanitation plant. And that's a better method than just going out in somebody's yard, because Zai doesn't own any property. So where's the field that he's going in? It's not his field. It's your field. It's your neighbor's field. It's somebody's field. Where's he throwing these Walmart bags? If he's not in a Walmart parking lot using their dumpster, where does he store them in his van till he gets to somewhere to throw them? Maybe he does. Maybe that's why he's got a maggot problem. I don't know. It's pretty disgusting. No way. And when you're out in the field, where do you wash your hands? There's a lot more diseases than early man had to worry about when we were living in the brush. Several hundred years ago, 1,000 years ago or more, where we didn't have any type of sanitation. Plumbing was invented during the Roman Empire. So we've been using toilets for a long, long time as humans and orangutans. So with that, I just want you to know that Zai is disgusting in more ways than one, as we find out.